For my presentation, I chose diabetes. My name is Michaela O'Brien. I chose diabetes because it runs in my family. On my dad's side, a lot of people have it. My grandmother and my dad both have it. And I work with it a lot at my job, so it's something I just wanted to research a little bit further. Okay. Diabetes is an illness that disrupts the amount of insulin that the pancreas is able to produce. And some people can get diabetes genetically or through poor eating habits. Not all forms of diabetes can be managed with just diet and exercise because because it can be genetic as well. There's currently no cure for diabetes, but you can manage the illness. The four major types are prediabetes, type 1 and type 2 diabetes, and gestational diabetes. And gestational diabetes is the kind that's associated with pregnancy. Prediabetes is when blood sugar levels are high, but not high enough for it to be considered type 2 diabetes. The only symptom is blood pressure. It can be caused by genetics, weight gain, race, or diet. It can be managed by eating healthy and exercising. Some complications include the risk of developing into type 2 diabetes, fatality due to stroke and kidney disease, and also if it is not managed and the person's sugar gets too high or drops too low, that can also be fatal. Type 1 diabetes is a chronic condition. That means it continues on and on and on. That's where the pancreas is unable to produce an adequate amount of insulin. And in some people's cases, their pancreas produces no insulin at all whatsoever. The causes are unknown except for genetics do play a role in this type of diabetes. Some of the symptoms include increased thirst, frequent urination, extreme hunger, unintended weight loss, irritability, and other mood changes, fatigue, weakness, and blurred vision. Treatments consist of insulin replacement therapy. You can get an insulin pump, you can take insulin shots, you can have preloaded insulin shots, you can be on an insulin drip. There's many different types of insulin. There's fast acting, there's long acting insulin. And also healthy diet. That goes a long ways in any form of healthcare, honestly. But managing your diet, watching, the amount of sugar intake you have, the amount of carbs that you take in, just basically watching, what you put in your body goes a long ways. Complications of type 1 diabetes. You're prone to diabetic ketoacidosis, which is basically when your body is very acidic because it has an imbalance in the electrolytes, and in this case, sugar or glucose, and that requires hospital treatment. Kidney failure, stroke, heart disease, blindness, and blood vessel blockage. The imbalance of sugar or glucose in your body is very, very dangerous. If it gets too high or too low, both are reasons that you could be hospitalized. when you have diabetes, and also the healing process for, like wounds or sores on your body, especially diabetics who get wounds or sores on their feet or hands. The healing process takes a very long time with diabetics. Type 2 diabetes. That's when the body doesn't make enough insulin, which causes high blood sugar. Symptoms include frequent urination, weight loss, tiredness, and increased thirst. This is caused by poor eating habits. The body is becoming resistant to insulin. This is very, very bad. You can prevent this, though, by moderate exercise and, again, eating healthy. Just kind of watching what you put into your body, watching your carb intake, watching your sugars. Treatments include insulin therapy. There are many different types of insulin, as mentioned before. Healthy eating and exercise also help to manage type 2 diabetes. Complications include clogged blood vessels, kidney failure, stroke, and in some cases death. Gestational diabetes. This is the type of diabetes that is associated with pregnant women. Symptoms include increased thirst and frequent urination. And of course the sugar imbalance, or glucose imbalance, this is caused by obesity and can also be caused by PCOS. Normally occurs in women over the age of 30. Can be prevented by healthy eating habits along with moderate exercise, being careful when pregnant, though, and can be prevented by losing extra weight pre-pregnancy. The treatments include insulin therapy, healthy diet, exercise, and regular testing. Regular testing is so important because not only does this type of diabetes affect the mom, it also affects baby. Complications are giving birth to a child with excessive weight, risk of diabetes in the child and mother further down the line, low blood sugar in the baby, and high blood pressure in the mother, all which can be very, very dangerous and have to be monitored extremely closely. Obesity. That is when there's an excessive amount of body fat leading to other health problems such as high blood pressure, stroke, and even death. Somebody is considered obese when their BMI is above the 95th percentile for their age and gender. It is also a risk for type 2 diabetes. And in the U.S., 36.5 million adults are affected by obesity. It is not genetic, but environmental. The environment somebody is raised in or somebody lives in definitely plays a role in the obesity factor. It can be prevented by eating healthy, moderate exercise. Obesity can be cured by daily moderate exercise and healthy meal plans and sticking to both of those things. Making a plan, sticking to it, eating well, sticking to it, not falling off the wagon and making the same mistakes that got you to obesity in the first place. Diabetes and obesity and their relation. Obesity is increased from 47.4% from 1999 to 2000 to 57.2% in 2013-14. Type 2 diabetes has also increased from 8.8% in 1999 to 2000 to 11.7% in 13-14. As the amount of obesity in America is increasing, so is the risk for type 2 diabetes as they're related. Research study shows that from 1999 to 2000, 15.5% of 12 to 19-year-olds had a BMI above the 95th percentile, which does consider them obese. That's more than 11% in 88 to 94. That is 11% more. 65% of deaths related to type 2 diabetes are caused by complications due to this illness rather than the illness itself. By complications due to the illness rather than the illness itself. with obesity playing a factor. As diabetes and obesity trends have been rising, research has noticed a direct correlation between the two, as they are related. Obesity poses a risk factor for type 2 diabetes, and in some cases gestational diabetes in pregnant women. Preventing obesity would also help to prevent type 2 diabetes, meaning if the rates of obesity begin to decline, then you would also see a rapid decline in type 2 diabetes, because with one comes the other. Thank you for listening and have a good day.